Hey folks, quick video for Prepper Rabbit. Today's topic. There are some people in this world that will profess that they're trying to help you, and they're not. And I don't know why that is. I think that's real shady. But I found myself in situations through life where people would say, "Oh, I'd be glad to help you do this, or I can help you do that," and they're not going to do anything for you. And I don't know why that is. But you need to be aware of stuff like that. Is that uh, I don't know what people get out of that. By any, I just it amazes me. But there are plenty of people out there that will say to you, "Oh yeah, I'll do this or I'll do that," and they're not going to do anything. And I think a lot of times people get their feelings hurt when stuff like that happens. And I think that's just one thing you should really watch, that there are truly evil people in this world that will do you that way. Uh, I don't understand it, but there is a lot of people that way. I don't know if it's just laziness. They, they have good intentions, but when the time comes, they don't want to. They'd rather do something more fun. Now, like for me, I'm not talking about anything in particular. I'm just talking about in general. I was reading something earlier, and it made me think of this, and I thought, well, I'm going to do a video on it because it's somewhat important, I believe. Uh, Today is for me. It's been a big day. I have uh, just read just a ton of stuff, and my brain hurts. I've read so much. Uh, but you have to be aware that most, I won't say most, but a lot of people in this world, all they care about is getting ahead for themselves. And I think that's sad, but that's true. The only thing people care about is how how it'll make them look or how it'll benefit them. And I'm sure we've all known somebody like that. That if they'll do anything that makes them look good. I did a video probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I was talking about somebody that I knew. They had told me they were going to do something. We'd made a deal on something, and I did what I was supposed to do, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I did a live, and they called me immediately because they saw the live, and they said, "Please take that down." And I said, "Why?" "Well, you're making me look bad." I said, I didn't name you. I didn't give your address. I didn't, Well, right then, they were thinking, I've told a lie. Well, they did. They lied. And they didn't do what they're supposed to do. And in a roundabout way, I mean, I did a little rant video, and it made me feel better versus me calling them and being ugly. But and then they immediately came out and did what they were supposed to do. And and we all know these people. Hey, I'll be over, let's say Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes, it's going to be 9. It's going to be 10:30. And they show up at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and they still don't have time to do what they're going to do. We've all ran into that. I always say, if you give your word, if I give my word, I honor my word. If and even when I give my word on something, it might be on something that I don't want to do. But if I give my word, I'm going to do it. You know, and I think that's just part of the way that I was raised, and I think that's part of being an adult. Kids don't really get it. Kids will tell you anything. Oh, I'm going to mow the yard tomorrow, and then they're not going to mow the yard unless you're out there beating them with a stick. Uh, and I look around and I see so much of that in our society. People will tell you anything, and they do nothing, and it's sad. I think probably because there's no consequence for people that lie to you. You know, um, your places you work, your bosses will tell you, if you put out X amount of work, you'll get a raise. And then but unfortunately, when you get the raise, it's a nickel, and then they wonder why you're pissed. Uh, People are just liars, and I personally don't see how people can be that way. I really don't. It baffles me. Uh, but that just shows you uh, the way they were raised, the type of family they came from. Like I've always heard, there's two sets of ethics. There's Christian ethics and there's business ethics. No, there's one kind of ethics, and if you tell a man something, then you do it. If you know, you just don't go around lying. But business ethics, it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal. But then Sunday or whenever people go to church, they go in and they talk about God and and what good Christians they are, and then Monday they're right back to screwing everybody. And I'm sorry, that's BS. But I'm on here doing this content, and there's times I sit around like today. I thought today's a good day. I should do content. I thought, well, what should I do content on? And the title says Prep a Rabbit. And people say, well, you're not doing prepping videos. Well, I am doing prepping videos. In my mind, I am. Prepping doesn't always have to be about beans, bullets, and band-aids, Prepping your soul, prepping your mind, always thinking, moving forward. Even if you're really stationary and you're not prepping, if you're prepping this, then this is the best tool you've got. To me, that's the most important thing. Over the last, I'd say over the last 10 years, I have learned more about my life in general, the people around me, uh, all the things we take for granted. I've learned more in the last 10 years than I've learned my whole life. Uh, about friendships and business relationships and spiritual relationships, things that truly matter to me since I've gotten older. I've had friends tell me, oh yeah, I'll do blah blah, and I knew the BS coming out of their mouth was trash as soon as they said it. And I think, well, no, I can't say that. I got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then I sit and watch them, and I know they're lying. They know they're lying. And then after whatever time's passed, I can go, okay, I'll just take you off that list. I had an acquaintance one time, and I had to say at this point in our life we are acquaintances. He said, you expect a lot out of your friends. And I said, of course. If somebody's your friend, you should hold them to a higher standard. Or they're an acquaintance. Yeah, I know a lot of people, and I don't even think of them as acquaintances. And I've had, and also over the last 35 years, maybe longer, I have cut more people out of my life because they do nothing for me. I mean, for me, mentally, spiritually, physically, if somebody is in your life and they're not helping you in one of those ways by being your friend, then they're not your friend. If you're around people that lie to you, if you're around lazy people, if you hang around with a thief, a drug addict, somebody beats their spouse, or what, you can't be friends with somebody like that. I don't think you can. So what do you base your friendship on? Domestic violence? I mean, come on. People will tell you they'll piss them on about uh, being poor. I don't have two nickels to rub together. Oh my God. And they got two brand new vehicles in the driveway. Or I don't have any money and they're always on vacation. You know, it's to me, I have an acquaintance. I used to think we were pretty good friends, but I don't believe we are. Not really. It talks about money and time. I don't have any money. I don't have any time. In the 6 years I've lived here, they have graced my door 0 times. Zero. Now, granted, it's not like running across town. I live about 120 miles from everybody. In 6 years, not one time have they ever graced my door. Not once. I run to Knoxville all the time. I'm down there, well, not all the time, but I'm down there quite a bit. I go by and see everybody. When I go in and see all my buddies. Hey, how's it going? Even if I spend 10 minutes, I go in. So they know I care. Okay. And over the years, I have, as time goes, I step down. Like, to have a friendship, it goes both ways. And I've cut guys loose. And people say, well, why did you do that? And I say, because they bring nothing to my life. Nothing. And you have to think about those things. The people that are in your life, do they help you in some way? And friends, I mean, you shouldn't have a friendship with somebody to what is the word? Prosper per se, but a friendship should be helpful. If it's, like I said, if it's mentally, spiritually, physically, something, or they're hindering you. And I've looked around, and I had a friend I think I met him in '01, and he had his faults. I knew what his faults were, but he was a good dude most of the time. I loved him to death. Loved this guy to death. He said, loan me $1,100. I said, okay. And I didn't press him hard for the money, but I said, pay me back in a timely manner and we'll be good. Okay. And I knew for a fact that he screwed me. So at some point I went to him, I said, hey dude, you've had plenty of time. I need my money back. Pay me. Well, I'm not paying him. Now granted, if that had been 20 years earlier, we'd have went out in the road and settled it. And it would have been horrible, but we, one way or the other, I'd either got my money back or he'd have persuaded me to do without it. So to me, I did. I got $400 back. I lost $700, but losing the $700, no big deal, because it was. I mean, it's a big deal that you think that you have a friend, they end up being a thief and a liar, and they know they're a thief and a liar. But by the same token, I ended up spending $700 to find out that I had made friends with a thief and a liar. So it ended up being cheaper to lose the money and lose the person, because you don't want to be associating with a thief and a liar. And of course now all the buddies, everybody that knows me, this gentleman didn't have any friends. I think I was probably the only friend he had. But everybody now knows he's a thief and a liar. And I think, man, that's a horrible thing in my mind, to know when you see somebody, you speak to somebody and you go, hey, in the back of their mind, they're going, you're a thief and you're a liar. That I wouldn't want that. That would drive me insane. But I'm a decent person. So, but I've had other guys, just recently I had a gentleman say something to me very insensitive and very stupid. And in the 6 years I've lived up here, he's never graced my door, but would always profess what great friends we were. And no, So you just etch that person right out of your life. And so as I get older, I try to become more wiser and realize that when you look around and people say, oh, yeah, I'm this or I'm that, you have to be able to see that's not true. That they, on one hand, I guess in a way, they're stealing from you. They're stealing friendship, uh, and they're really not giving you friendship. And I could give them an opportunity to tell me another lie and go back and let them tell me whatever BS story they want to tell me. But you have to realize there's people around you the devil's got a hold of. And that's just the way it is. And so to keep myself pure, or as pure as I can be, I have to cut that dead weight, and it is dead weight. You just cut it loose, and it'll hurt you mentally and spiritually sometimes, but you have to worry about yourself. And I guess that's really why I'm doing the video, is I'm telling you, you have to worry about yourself. You have to be a good person. You do. And if you're not, then you can't really get mad when people around you treat you badly. But if you are a good person and somebody does treat you badly, get rid of that and move on, because we have so much evil going on around us. It's sad. It's so sad. Um, I try to find the best in people. I do. If that's a red flag or a fault, hey, that's me. I always try to find the good in people. Uh, and some people just don't have any good in them. So I hope you take something from this video. I really do. Well, it's a fact. Yeah, I think so. Uh, you, mm, and the sad part is you'll invest yourself into people. You get vested, and then when you realize you have vested time into this relationship, this person, and they're shit, they don't take time. They're not putting out the energy that you are. It will crush your soul. And unless, I'm not the kind of person that I get off on being abused. Once you show me your true colors, I will cut and run. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if I'm a backup option, you can get bent. You're gone. I just don't care. Uh, and and the thing about it is, this is why I always say you have to listen to what people say. They might say something very insignificant to them, but if you're paying attention, they're telling you how they feel about you, what they think about you. And you have to see that. Look, guys can get together like me and Guns here, and we can shoot shit and talk ignorant for 3 hours on the telephone. And then somebody can say, well, what'd you talk to the rabbit about? We just shot shit. Nothing important. Nothing at all. Or sometimes you can talk to somebody, they can say 2 sentences, and you think, what a piece of shit they are. And they didn't say anything bad, but you know what's going on. And I can say, well, it's the devil. I can say, you can justify it however you want. But once somebody says that, like guys, and I think Guns will agree to this. When a man meets a woman, they know in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the conversation if they're going to marry that chick or not. They know. We know. We don't have to have 6 months, a year. You know in your mind right then. Click, it either clicks or it don't. Same way when you have a friendship with somebody, if you say something, you know right then. And I had a gentleman say something to me the other day. I have known, oh my God, over 20 years. I'll say 25 years. We supposedly have been friends. And he said something to me and it clicked. And when it clicked, I was done. That, you know, well, maybe he didn't. Oh, he meant what he said. He did. And it wasn't nothing, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't good, but I mean, it wasn't like he called me a baby killer or something. It wasn't horrible. But as soon as he said it, it clicked in my head. I thought, I'm done. I'm walking away right now. Because you're not privy to all the conversations that person has had with everyone else. But as soon as they say what they say, you know. And it made me, after I got a phone, I thought about, I got so angry that I'm still pissed. I've known this guy forever, ever. Oh, well, we're done. I just blocked him. I won't even talk to him. I won't, unless he knocks on my front door, we're never going to have the conversation. We're not. Because I know myself well enough that it will not end well for him or I. And so I read an article, well, more than an article. I read 3 or 4 chapters on some stuff that made me think that I need to do this video to share with you all. You know, if somebody's a scumbag, they're a scumbag. If they're a liar, they're a liar. If they're a thief, they're a thief. All people can change. They sure can. And people can ask for forgiveness. But I was in church and the preacher said this, and man, it's so true. Every time you see that person, you have to forgive them again. Because if you don't, it will just piss you off. If enough of you have watched enough of my videos, I'm pretty sure I have said enough that I did not care for my father, period. And every time I think about it, I have to go back and forgive him. Because if not, I get so angry that I can't. He was who he was, and I am who I am, and I have to periodically go back and think about I got to forgive him. I got to forgive him. And they say, well, once forgiven, oh, that's a load of shit. No, that's like saying once saved, always saved. Okay, I can be saved. I'm a big firm believer you can be saved and go straight to the hot place. And everybody says, oh, horse shit. Just like your kids. If you got a kid, you can love your child. Let's say your child, you just adore your child. Your child goes out and commits murder and gets the chair. You're going to love your kid all the way to the chair, and God will love you all the way to the end as you blow the gates of hell off. You know, it's not a free pass, and neither is a friendship, neither is a marriage. Every relationship you have in this world, you have to work on it, and you have to do your best. If you care about the person, if you care about the situation, you always have to strive to be better. The older I've gotten, the harder I try my best to be a good man. I do. When my mother was alive, she used to tell me things and I think, oh, bullshit, come on, you know. And then when she died, I realized what a dumbass I was. And even the days, and there's days I suck at being a good person. I have to work on it every day because it's important to me to be a good person. The last 6 years of my life, I have tried my best to be a good person because I'll just be honest. Naturally, I'm a prick. I am. It's just my personality. I'm a prick. And I have to try my best not to be that. I'm not saying I'm a prick and I'm a bad person. I just have a prick personality. And anybody that knows me and knows me well, I will take the shirt off my back for anybody. Even if I don't know you, I will. I'm still a prick, but I'll do it. I've helped people. Oh man, I have helped people that I knew were fucking me over. I knew for a fact they were. But I still helped them because it was the right thing to do. I don't usually get on here and really bare my soul and tell you things, but this is what I'm speaking to you today is the truth. So help me God. I'm trying to hammer this message home is that there are just going to be shitty people in this world, and you might be related to him, you might be married to him, it might be the guy next door. And at some point, somebody's going to say something to you. And when it clicks, you just got to cut them loose. You do. Or they'll destroy you, you know? And it sucks. I promise. I've cut guys loose that I just loved more than anything in the world. And just have to cut them loose. Like, you're gone, dude. You're out. And in a little bit, they go away. And thankfully, I think on one hand, it's a blessing and a curse that I have that switch in my head. And once you flip it, I'm done. And I wish a lot of times I could look over certain things because I enjoy, they make either they're funny or they're whatever, about them. But once that switch goes, and I hope everybody's got that switch. I do, because it will save you in the end. It will. And but as you get older, I started out with about this many friends, and now I got this many. No, I got this many. I got this many. And it sucks, but oh well. If you steal from me, if you lie to me, if you backstab me, whatever it is, you're gone. You're gone. And you can live your miserable life. And I'm gonna keep moving forward and working on myself. Because that's the only thing that's important. Yard Sale 308 said something to me, and this is the truth. If you're in an airplane and a jet and it's going to crash or whatever, the oxygen masks come down, and before you can put it on your child, you put it on yourself first, because if you perish, then your child's going to perish. And I thought, man, that makes a lot of sense. You have to take care of yourself, or the stuff that you care about will die. And people a lot of times will do just the opposite. Like a spouse will put their child before their oh, I hate Harley Davidsons. I can't stand them. A spouse will put their child before their husband or their wife, and then their union, their marriage will break down, and then they end up unhappy. And everybody's like, well, you should know. You start at the top and you work your way down, and you take care of what's up here. If you want this down here to flourish, you have to make this flourish. And I'm saying this for me. If I don't flourish, nothing else will in my life. You have to take care of yourself. And a lot of times that's difficult. It is. It's a lot of times it's easier to turn a blind eye or let somebody get over on you because maybe you don't want to be lonely or whatever. Lonely's not a bad thing. It's really not. It's all how you look at it. If you're working on yourself. Now, I'm not saying, there's good and bad with everything. I'm not saying that you should go around screwing everybody to elevate yourself, but you have to work on yourself and make yourself strong. And I have, like I used to be addicted to doing YouTube, every night and all this. And if you're a creator, it sucks. It eats up it eats up your life. And at some point you have to look at yourself and go, no, I'm not going to do that. Because in reality, your subscribers don't give a shit about you. Not really. You're all here to be entertained. And if you find somebody that entertains you, then you watch. I've got creators that I love to watch. But am I vested in their life? No, I'm not. They have to worry about themselves. Well, it's this or that, but I called you. Actually, I called you. Did I call you today? No, but I called you the other day and you didn't answer, prick. I love him, by the way. But I'm just saying that you have to take care of yourself and love yourself. I called you more than the other day. I called you 3 times. You haven't answered. Uh, but you have to take care of yourself, and that's why I'm doing this. You know, people will will stand on the rooftop saying, "I'm here to save you," and they are not. They're there for their agenda, and they'll claim they're busy, and you know, it just doesn't take that long to answer a telephone call. It really doesn't. But no, I recently I went through a situation with a guy that I've known over 25 years, and he said what he said, and it wasn't anything bad. He didn't say anything to me bad at all, but it clicked, and I thought, we're done. We're done right now. I mean, we're done, and I shut him down. I sent him a text, and all I got is he clicked. You know, I guess where you can click, you like something, and I I was a little shitty. I said, boy, isn't it amazing how busy a man is when he can't even answer a text message. You do have to show up for yourself. And, you know, I'm sorry if I don't care what job you've got. I don't care. Listen, my mother was dying, and a couple of guys called me, and I took the phone call. She's still dying, and I still can take the phone call. I mean, it's one of those things where really, like, you can't take 10 minutes, or you can't take. Uh, we don't. Nobody knows phone numbers anymore. You scroll through your phone, you hit somebody's little thing, and the phone rings. And if you're that much of a prick that you can't answer the phone, then you're a prick, and I cut you out of my life. If uh, you can't respond from somebody sends you a text and you can't, you know, bang out a text message back, I'm done. Uh, now, like, there are situations, you know, if you're having open heart surgery committed, they're doing brain surgery, please don't respond. But 90%, 99% of the time, you can respond. And uh, to me, I've always said this. This is true. Everybody piss them on about you don't have money, you don't have time, you blah blah blah. You're a liar. We always have money and time for the things we want. If it's important to us, we got the money and we got the time. Period. So when people say, "Oh, I just, I don't really have the money," you're a lying prick. Gentleman said what he said to me the other day, and I thought about it, and that breaker in my head, click. I sent the text. He didn't. All I got was a like. I said, "Damn!" I said, "A man must be awful busy if he can't take 30 seconds out of his life to respond to a text message." I said, "I'll make this easy on me. I'm done. Block and block him." And he knows exactly who I am and how I am. And when I said blocked, he knew right then. Boop, we were done. And if that makes me a prick, good. But you won't lie to me. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not. And it's not the whole thing, the whole situation. I don't care anything about. Okay, I don't, and that's not why I'm doing the video. I'm just using it as an example. I didn't care, but his response is what caused the reaction. And as I'm saying this to you now, as you go through life, you'll have bosses, people that profess to be something in your life, and you will know there'll be something they'll say, and as soon as they say it, if you got any common sense at all, you're like, yep, I know where I stand. And if you have no respect for yourself, then you'll continue on that path. If you do have respect for yourself, you shut that door and you open another door and you go a different direction. And I'm saying to all sees this, better to have respect for yourself and go a direction that will bring meaning to your life, that you better your situation. There's you can shut the door on people and it's nothing. But you got to always respect yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, nobody's going to take care of you. Not a soul. Not a soul. Uh, and that's the whole thing for this video. Uh, if you saw the thumbnail, you're down in a hole, and some guy's like, "Oh, I'm trying to help you." You got a ladder right beside it. He could throw you that ladder down that hole, and you can climb out. But they'll do the opposite, and that more times than not, that's how people look at things. And I'll say this or I'll do this, but I really don't give a shit. I just soon tell you, I don't give a shit. It's standing lie to a man. I just don't care. If I don't want to do it, and if I don't care, and I'm just going to tell you, man, I'm not in it. I could care less. I'm not going to lie to you. And the people that will lie to you are also the same people, you could be on fire and they wouldn't pee on you to put you out. They'll call you and tell you they're coming, but they're not. So take care of yourself, first of all. Be the best you can be. Every day, try. If, like, I hate to read. God, I hate to read. I hate it. But I know if I read certain things, it's going to help me. So I start reading. I don't have this is, listen, I don't do religion. I talk about my religion. I could care less what you do with your soul. That's between you and your God. Let me see here. I've got my little fancy bag with me today. Well, there it is. I've been reading this, and for the people that don't know, this is a Bible, a Christian Bible, and it's helping me. Might not help you, but it helps me. And me's the only person that I truly care about. I'm saying there's people I care about, but the only person that's going to help me is me. And so I don't know. I just reached a point in my life where I knew if I didn't start taking care of myself spiritually, that my life was going to suck. And so I started. I haven't graced the doors of a church, and I wasn't mad or anything. I just, for a long time, church wasn't my gig. I kind of joked with a friend of mine. I said, when I graced the doors, I said the floor didn't split and fire didn't shoot out. So I guess I'm pretty good. It helps me. Whatever it is, it helps you. My way is not the only way, but my way is my way, and it's the way I live my life. I had a subscriber. I wish I could remember their name, but I can't. It was a female. When I first started YouTube, I ran a real G-rated channel. I didn't cuss nothing, but that's not who I was. I talked to James Yeager from Tactical Response. He's no longer with us. He said, look, either be yourself, they'll either like you for you or they won't. And I thought, man, that'd make my life so much easier because I cuss like a sailor. I always have. Now, granted, I know what respect is. I'm standing in front of somebody's mom or their wife. I'm not. I grace the doors of the church. I do not. But do I curse? Yeah, sure do. That's really my only fault. But that to me won't keep me out of heaven. And so I started reading God's book, and it's helping me quite a bit. Whatever you need to do to help yourself, do it. Um, I had an incident probably 6 months ago, and I thought for a little bit that I might perish, and I was good. If I kicked the bucket, I knew in my heart where I was going. I was going to heaven. I told God, I said, if you're going to call me home, let's go. I'm good. And there was a time in my life where I was scared to death. I wasn't scared of dying. I was just scared of dying. I'm like, either you understand or you don't. I'm not scared anymore. If I die, I go to heaven. Uh, for the people that don't believe in heaven, uh, okay, I'm still not scared they're going to put me in the ground. Worms are going to eat me. Either way, I'm still good. You know. But this ain't about being a Christian or anything. Today's just about, I'm doing a video saying that whatever is wrong in your life, whatever helps you in your life, whatever you need to do it. Take care of yourself. Do not depend on anyone else. Do not depend on your spouse, your mother, your father, because everyone will let you down. It's human nature. Shit will happen. And when you find dead weight in your life, cut it loose and move forward. Shut that door and go a different direction. You'll be fine. Okay, that's all I wanted to get on here and talk about. I said it. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. Tomorrow is Monday. That means it's going to suck. And, just know it's going to suck everywhere for everybody. You're not the Lone Ranger, you know. I'm not a big Mondays fan, never have been. Uh, but I'm going to go home and go back to what I was doing. I was improving my mind today. That's what I've been using today for. Uh, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, I don't care. If you did, great. It's six of one, half a dozen the other. I'm just sharing knowledge. Anyway, folks, more videos coming soon. God willing, and the creek don't rise. That is my 2 cents. Remember, your glass is always half full, never half empty. You keep praying for me. I'll keep praying for y'all. I love y'all. Be good. Stay safe.